Good morning and welcome to my studio. I just need to change my settings here because I can't hear myself, so I'm not sure if you can hear me, so bear with me 1 second. Stream with mic. That's better. Okay, I can hear myself now. So, welcome. This is the first of my regular scheduled streams that I'm going to be doing every Tuesday and Thursday. In the morning, 7:30, and in the evening at 5:30. So if you've watched any of my streams before, I've only done a few, but they were usually quite quick, just showing you my actual music making process. This time I'm going to spend a bit more time to take things a little bit more slowly. So if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the chat, and I can try and answer as many of those as possible. So what we're going to do in the morning, I'm going to show you through, take you through my splurging process, which is my daily music creation process. And we're going to make some music. And then in the evening, I will do production session. So on a Tuesday, we'll work on tracks that have already been started. So what you do next and what you do following that, all the way through to a finished mastered track. And then on a Thursday, we'll do the same thing in the morning, but in the evening we'll do more of a performance-focused session. So that will be either performing tracks that we've already made, or parts of them, or improvised performance. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how it goes. Maybe a DJ set. You never know. We'll see. So this morning, let's just switch to my screens, and I'm going to just bring up my Trello board. So, I didn't do that. So this morning, as I'm just going to switch to this screen. No, yeah. Is that the one you're seeing? Yes, that's the one you're seeing. Okay, so here's my this is my unique style research and discovery board. So what I'm doing with this, I'm trying to develop my sound, my own sound, of course. And if any of you know me from last year, then I was releasing one track a week, and in order to do that, I was having to refine my process to spend as little time as possible, because as the year went on, more things were happening, the less time I had to spend in the studio making music. So I was refining, and it basically ended up being performing a track, and then that one of those tracks would end up be the one being released. So there's very little work spent on it, and it was all about getting as complete as possible in the first initial session. So live improvised jam that then I could then tweak and master and send out. I'm continuing that now, but I'm not doing the one release a week. This year it's all about you guys. This is all about trying to help you if I can. And so I'm going to continue using the template I have been using, sorry, and developing that as much as I can, and using that in different ways to experiment and try different things out with it. So first of all, if you're going to make music, and if you're going to have a daily practice, which I encourage you to do, because if you do something regularly, it becomes second nature. Things become easier. Things that you found hard before are no longer hard, and you can just keep pushing yourself. If you're stepping in and out, those music producers out there will know, just stepping in and then switching things on as soon as you walk in the studio is quite difficult to do. It takes some time to get into. You will spend hours in there, and there's depleting returns after a certain amount of time. So if you're doing it regularly, you can basically just quickly step in, step out, and do things regularly, and get better every day. So if you're gonna do that, then you need to have some focus with your practice. You need to be deliberate practice, not just random practice. If you can focus it, then obviously you'll get better quicker. So one of the tricks to getting better quicker is to define what you're going to do first, do that, and then review it each time. It's a bit of a ball ache, but it's worth it, because you can see where you're going wrong. You can focus in on certain areas for each practice, and you can develop skills, and you can see them getting better. All right, excuse me for 1 second. So I just had to turn the heating off. It's roasting in here. Okay, so on my cards, so the first thing is, let me just go back to me. Oops. Where am I? There. Oops. What's happened there? Oh, that is me. Okay, so for my focus, let's go back to my card. So on this card, I'm going to make a template. Sorry, it already is a template, so I'm going to create a new card and I'm going to find a name for it. So I've got this image that I took off Twitter of essential concepts of Bitcoin. So if you see here, not sure if that'll focus. No, you can't see it. But it's basically a list of the essential concepts of Bitcoin. And I thought, this is great because there's 40 things that I can use for inspiration for tracks. So I've got all these titles. So I'm just going to pick one of these and use that as my starting point. Let's have a look. Let's go back to here. There's a lot of camera switching. So which one interests me? Opportunity cost. Let's call it that. So opportunity cost. I'm just going to put that in as the title. Opportunity cost. And just to make things simple, I'm going to stay in the same key as I was for my last splurge, which is B flat minor. Reason being is the 303 was already programmed in that key, so I'm going to keep that just to make things simple for myself, and focus on getting the pattern right with that. Right, so let's go back to my card. Oops. Okay, so I've got these four topics to decide on. So destination. So what am I going to try and do with these next with this week's sessions? Well, not necessarily this week's, but the next few sessions, perhaps. So destination. So what I want to be practicing is basically what you're going to practice. So I'm going to practice my acid line. I'm going to do that for 3.
And it collects even more snow.
Sorry about that. I think I've just had you on the screensaver for the last 5 minutes while I've been talking to myself. Okay. Just getting used to this streaming setup. Sorry about that. So what I was doing while you weren't here was this is the problem using shortcut keys when typing. It's going to switch. So let me just show you what I was doing. Yep. Okay, so in my card, I've set my destination. So basically what I'm going to practice. And that is the practice the acid lines and the arrangement with the acid line. I'm going to do that for 3 different splurges. Regulations, so what rules during the splurge do I have to stick to? And that will be to bring the 303 in as a contrasting section, so not having playing all the way through. And the inspiration for these splurges is the title, which is Opportunity Cost, which we chose earlier. And then the limitations, so before and after, what rules do I need to stick to? So I'm going to prepare all the parts beforehand so I can focus on the actual performance and the arc of the track. Okay, cool. So let's go back. Oh, this is really kind of confusing. So let's go back to me. Hello. Let's get cracking. So let's switch to this. Okay. Cool. Okay. So you should be seeing both screens and me. So on the screen we have, on the right side, we have my last 3 splurges. So I'm just going to delete those. I've got all my clips, so I'll delete those. Save it under the new name. Oh, actually, let me change the tempo because we decided to go at 123 BPM. I'm going to save this as the new title, and that was Opportunity Cost. And the key, which was B flat minor. That goes into my splurge folder. Okay, so let's let me just go to screen 1 just to show you what's going on here. So my template. Now I will go over this in detail at some point, and that may well be on a separate video somewhere, because that'll be quite long. So in this we have my template. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 channels of instruments. So 8 of these. So here to here, that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that one, they are basically the performance channels that I have assigned to my MIDI controller. So I've got 8 channels on the MIDI controller. Which I can show you here. Just do that. Oops. There it is. Let's take this off. So there it is. There it is. So an alias 8. 8 channels. There's the effects. And then I've got 2 controllers here. Got glass on. With added control, which connects to that. So these control my drums. So individual drums. So snare drum, hand clap, closed hat, open hat, ride cymbal, and then some kind of looping effects for the kick drum and for the drums, and then a noise sound as well. And this one is effects control, which I won't go into detail just yet. Right, let's get the camera back. Ooh, there we go. Let's tighten that up. Okay. So that's the setup, and then here I have my new. As I say, I only got the 303 just over Christmas. I've only been playing with it a little while, so it's very new to me and quite difficult. So I've got the 303, or TD3 I should say, the MIDI channel going out to sync with that, and then coming back in to an audio channel. So if I press play, it should play. There it is. So the control for that is the volume on the actual unit itself. And then I've got all these basic performance channels. So the instrument channels down here, they are not being controlled. Sorry, I lied before. They're not being controlled by the MIDI controller. That way I can control the volumes of each instrument separately. So if they do need adjusting, I can control them just with the mouse or the push. The channels over here, these are the performance channels. So all these instruments channels are being sent to the performance channels, and those are the ones I'm controlling. So those have effects sends on them that I can control. They have iPad control over here, and that way I can do whatever I like in the performance, and it won't affect the actual set sound of the instruments themselves. So I can adjust those to get the mix right, but I can still perform and just mess around with the faders and not worry about the volume being, going back to the same level, because it's not being affected. Sounds complicated, but it's not really. And then here I have 5 channels, so mix channels. So like a submix. So all those channels are being routed into these channels, which then have some effects on them to bring it all together to get as close to a finished mix as possible from the get-go. Then I have some effects channels, returns, effects channel, so a room reverb, even though it's a bit of a kind of a creative room reverb, if you like. I'll show you this. Let's go to drums. I'll show you. See that? So it's quite a quite an intense room reverb. Then we've got a hall reverb, which if I do the same thing, so hall reverb, which is called Valhalla Supermassive, and as you can hear, it's pretty massive. So again, that's a performance effect. And then I've got a 1/8 tape echo from Sound Toys, which are awesome, by the way. And then I've got these special performance effects on the other send. So let's get that. And that's being controlled by the iPad. So if I bring that up here. That didn't work. Oh, the effects turned down, so let me turn the effects up. And that's being controlled by this controller here. I can also add, I can send the effects channel that's being sent to back on itself. You get some really weird things going on. So Excuse me. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's the basic setup. Let's take those the return channels out of the way. Okay, so let's get some parts going. So we need a kick drum. As you can see on the screen here, I've got a tuner set up here on the kick drum, and so I can transpose the kick down or up to fit the key. As you can see, that one is B flat because that's the key we used for the last track. And then I've got another one here. It's not quite tuned, so let's change that. There we go. So big one, and then a ghost kick as well. Okay, there we go. Add some swing using the push. Let's double that up. I'm also just going to crop this so we've got the actual, move that up there. So we've got a 4-bar loop. So at the end, just add a little extra skip. Just turn that down a touch. So it's slightly off kilter. So now the hard part, we're going to try and program this 303. So you're not going to be able to see this, so you have to bear with me. So I've just used the random function just for the purpose of this exercise. The great thing about the Behringer copy of the 303 is it's got a random option. And I've just tuned it, changed the pitch to the right key. I'm not sure if every note is in the right key, but we'll soon see if it sounds okay. Okay, so I've done an A and a B pattern, randomized them, and changed the pitch for them. I'm just going to double check the pitch, make sure they're all in the right key. So I'm just trying to work out the key, make sure they're all playing on the right notes. Okay, that's in key now. It's not the best acid line in the world, but it will do for now. And the B pattern. Okay. Okay, so that's the B pattern. Okay, that's ready then. Okay, so we need some other parts. So let's do the drums. Snare drum. Let's turn this acid line off for a minute. With the closed hat, I like to just put some random notes in. Hi-hat. And then the clap. Classic house music pattern. Okay, and then bass line. Difficult one because the 303 is obviously a bass synthesizer, so it's quite bassy already. So maybe do just an offbeat bass line, really simple. Yeah, that could work. Maybe a little skip at the end. Let's double that up again as well. We'll go up another notch. Cool, that kind of works. So let's add a little bit of rhythm to the drums with some extra drums. I've got reverse cymbal, clave, there's the noise. There's some weird effect on it, I don't know what that is, but sounds quite good. And my lovely toms. Okay, let's double that up. And again, let's do a variation. On that. And what we're gonna do, double that up again, so it's now 8 bars long. Let's double that up again, so it's 16 bars long. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this noise like a really long build up all the way through that last the last bar. So that's the nudge. So now when that plays, turn the noise level up. When we get to the end of that bar, it should play the noise build. Old school noise builder. Yeah, that kind of works. Maybe with the noise device, you could put maybe an attack. Yeah, let's turn the attack up. So strange. It seems to be playing up for some reason, so we'll leave that out. We have to do that by hand. Okay, we're running a bit short of time, so on to our rounds instrument, which is normally what I use for the lead. Captured that. Let's see if there's anything worth having. Turn that down a bit, it's very loud. go. Sounding pretty good. Okay, so let's get some pads in here as well. Okay, cool. So I think that's about 16 bars. So let's go, just move that there. Oh, let me just share my other screen so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, no, it's okay. I'm just going to shift over here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just changing the starting point to there. And also, these need to move. What's going on here? Stop that. Don't want that. Okay, there we go. So, because it's a launched clip, we need to have starting actually on. Come on. There we go. This one. There. This one there. No, it's not 16, it's 24 bars. So. Start here. Move these starting points after the start. There we go. Okay. Very easy to get carried away and just mess around. Okay, so question is, do we need anything else? At this stage, I don't think so. I am going to put a little clip in here for the swamp because oops. I don't think this makes a difference, but I'm playing some notes for the effects channel. I'll just solo that, because then it should be in key, the effects. So A flat, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone. Okay. I just messed with the settings in the plugin. Okay, so I think we're ready to record. So, as per the rules I set for myself, the 303 I need to turn right down. I'm also going to turn down the controls so the cut off and the resonance down so it's not too manic to start with. Let's just stop all the other clips and hear that on its own. That'll do. Okay, so what we're going to start with. Now, I often like to start with a filtered kick, no hi-hat, no hand clap, no closed hat, maybe the perk. So let's get all those going. Just going to turn that perk sound down a bit, it's a bit loud. Just got to find it first. That's better. Okay, so that'll do. So let's bring up the old multiple screens. Okay. So now you can see that's the reactor ensemble. Reactor blocks. It's called Lumico, I think. Just giving me that kind of eerie backdrop, which I like so much. I'm just going to turn that down a bit. So that's one control. That's another control. That's a third control. Oh no, don't know what that is. Oh, shouldn't be touching it. That's third control. That's second control. That's first control. So I'll put that and that up. But I'm going to put some effects on that so it's not so constant. Slight rhythm going on there, which is good. Okay, so now let's close that so we don't need to see this anymore. And we just hit record. So what are we focusing on? We're focused on the 303 being a contrasting section. So we can afford to bring in the other parts around that, and maybe we'll see how it goes. I think maybe we could do the 303 with the pads and just the kick and the bass together at one point. So we drop out the drums, drop out the lead synth, and have that, and then build up again from there. Yeah, so we can let's bring in the 303 with the during a kick, bass, pads section. So we're going to build up to there. That's going to be our kind of breakdown. Maybe drop the kick, bring everything back in. Okay, let's go. Morning, guys. Hey, Chems. Hey, Jean. Okay, let's concentrate. effects control, just to add a bit of an atmosphere, keep it being really boring. Okay. Closed hat coming there, just to add a little bit of an uplift. Okay, we need to drop down now into a... Let's take the drums out. Old school. Let's do something with the bass. Okay, I'm going to bring the pads in now. We're going to start bringing in the 303 slowly. Let's hope it's in time. A bit quick. Let's just bring this acid sound in and out a little bit. Last blast for the lead line. Forgot about the noise. Oops. Bring the kick back in. Just for the outro, so you can keep it in the mix. I need to tidy up those ghost kicks. Okay, I think we should stop now. Okay, so there we go. That's the first take done. I thought I was quite enjoyed that. That sounded okay to me. There is some things I'd like to tidy up, so let's have a quick review of that, shall we? Let's go back to my board. Let me change the screen. So we go here, and then we go here. Okay, what worked? Okay, so I thought the 303 line was good. 303 line, and the arc was good. I liked the half of the arc. First half. Second half was a bit messy. It's arrangement. Oh, I've gone and switched. Gone and switched camera again. Right, let me turn these hotkeys off because it's going to be a nightmare trying to type otherwise. Hotkeys, hotkeys, hotkeys. Okay, I'm going to come back to that another time. So I'm going to add this once we've gone, because if I keep typing, we're gonna lose the camera. I need to set up my remote control somehow. Okay, so let's go back here. There's me. Okay, so I'm just going to fill that review in, but I think that what worked well, the 303 line worked well. The arrangement was good for the first half. The way the acid came in was nice. I like that. Second half was messy. The ghost kick is way too untidy. It doesn't accentuate the groove. It kind of holds it back a little bit. And because it's quite a straight techno kind of groove with the offbeat bass, too much going on around it can be a little off-putting. Can't get into the groove when you're dancing, so I'm going to change that. And what to try next time? So the next, I'll do another take of this. I'm just going to focus on the on the second half. Keep the same idea for the first half. Build up. Hopefully sort that noise situation out. Still going. Build it up. Drop it down to kind of D&B groove, I like to call it. So kick and bass and toms. Bring the pads in, bring the acid in, build it up, then bring everything else in at the drop, and then I need to work out what I'm going to do after there. I need to have a second break bring the acid out, and maybe have a bit of a wig out with the acid, with some effects and that kind of thing. But we'll see. Okay, well, guys, thanks for joining me. Now, if you're interested in getting hold of some of the sounds that I'm creating here, I'm going to be giving away some stuff soon. So make sure to head over to DarianJDJ.com. I'll put a comment below this video if it's on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to be giving away the drum rack that I've been using the whole of last year. So every single track I released last year used the same drums. And so the kicks and all these snares, claps, close hats, hi-hats. Because the secret to good music and the secret to making lots of good music is having good quality sounds. So if you've got good drums, you can then just work on the rest of the stuff and putting the other bits on top. That's the fun part. So sign up over at DarianJDJ.com to the newsletter. I'm going to be giving that away soon. So I'll catch you here this evening at 5:30 for some more fun games. Cheers for joining me. Catch you soon. Take care.